it's getting to be near the end of March and there's still quite a lot of snow on the ground. And in fact, it is snowing a little bit today. I am itching to get my bike out and do some bike riding, so come on, spring. I am in the wonderful York Regional Forest today. If you live in York Region or in the surrounding area, you really need to come and see this place. It's not just one forest. It's 22 tracks with 150 kilometers of trails, including 7 kilometers accessible to wheelchairs and strollers. And it's free. There are lots of free parking lots, and you can walk a short loop or go all day by hiking from one tract to the next. I am at the Eldred King Tract, and the thing to see here is the red pines. They are particularly gorgeous here. I love the bark of the tree. Sometimes it's darker brown with reddish patches, but the trees in here are pink. You can see the color here compared to the other trees nearby. Dark brown, gray, white, or greenish. But I don't see any other pink trees. Red pines have stiff needles that grow in groups of 2. Even without counting needles, you can usually see the difference between red and white pines just from the way the needles rest. See these white pine needles on the side? They are wispy and feathery, and they look soft. Compare that to the red pine. The needles look stiff and hard and a little more sparse. The cones are very different too. Cones for the white pine usually have sticky sap on them. It smells wonderful, but it's not that easy to get off your hands without soap. And there will be one more exciting cone to see in a little bit. We'll be heading down to the pond shortly, and the red pines there are the best in this forest. But first, do you know what an inosculation is? I'll give you a hint. It comes from the Latin word for kiss. Take a look at these trees I found. This is an inosculation, or joining of 2 trees, sometimes called a marriage tree. These are 2 beech trees, and they are particularly susceptible to this natural phenomenon because the beech bark is very thin. When 2 trees are close together and are blown around in the wind, they may lose the outer layer of bark from rubbing together. This exposes the cambium layer, and when this happens, the tree tries to heal itself by producing a quick layer of bark. You can see the new bark that encompasses both the trees. Such a cool thing to see. And remember I said there would be one more interesting cone? Can you tell what tree they are from? The branch gives up a big clue. First of all, there are cones but no needles, and there are all these little nodules on the branches. This is where a cluster of needles will grow back in the spring. This is a conifer whose needles turn brilliant yellow in the late fall and then fall off the tree in the winter. Have you figured it out? I am pretty sure that those tiny little cones on those branches are from a tamarack tree. So now, where is the tamarack tree? Wow, this tamarack actually has some small areas of pink. This must be the forest of pink trees. Okay, down to the pond we go. There's the main wide trail down, but I'm taking a little trail parallel to it. You can see the main trail below, and then farther down you can see the river we'll walk along later. Look at these beautiful red pines with pink bark. You'll notice one tree is different. It's a lone white pine with a dark trunk. This is the Black River, which originates right here on this section of the Oak Ridges moraine. It will become a much larger river before it empties into Lake Simcoe near Georgina. There are 2 golf balls in this river. The Ballantrae Golf Course is about 3 kilometers upstream. Do you think the golf balls might have been pushed along in this river? The leaves along this trail give us some clues as to what other trees there are nearby. Is anyone else looking forward to seeing green leaves again? Well, if I had parked here, I'd be done. But instead, I am up a huge hill. I am just going to take the road back to the car. If you enter Eldred King Woodlands into Google Maps, it will either bring you here to this parking lot or to this street parking. I parked in a small lot here on the corner of McCowan and St. John Side Road. I think the best place to park is here because it is closest to the very nice red pines, pond, and river area. There are lots of trails through this forest, and it's helpful to bring up a map on something like All Trails because the trails are not really marked. I recommend a route like this, which is 4.5 kilometers. You can make this longer or shorter, but make sure you go down to the pond and river area. If you're down by the river near the end of your hike, you can climb back out, as I did, on a narrow, unmaintained trail that comes out at the parking. It looks a bit like a bobsleigh run and is quite icy in the winter.